Good afternoon. Welcome to my garden, Lilac Hill. I wanted to capture this lily on film before it started to go over. You know, plants are so fleeting, they just don't last forever. And I thought, well, I better capture it today because it's fully open. And as of the next couple of days, it's going to start to fade. But it is really big. I'll put my hand so we can kind of get a scale. That's my hand, and that's my flowers. And the other fun thing about this lily is that it is not only really, really large, it is from the dollar store. And this is its third year in this pot. The scent is incredible, and it does not have a name. It was just called Yellow Lily. But what a treat, what a treasure to have a beautiful lily this big blooming. And of course, not to be outdone, I have after 8 down here. Almost all of the flowers on this lily are open. There is 2 more buds to open. Very fragrant and very healthy. They've enjoyed the heat that we've had, and they are under the cover of the deck, so they're protected from the hard rains that have been coming. The rain will come and hummingbird, fighting. So anyhow, it's nice to have plants protected from the rain when it smashes and pours. And we are due to have a storm, so I wanted to capture some things on film tonight before the storm comes in, because it's quite windy out right now. The apple tree off in the distance is really full. Loaded in fruit. And then that's our front garden down there. Yeah, the lilies really are looking gorgeous. And then at this end of this covered veranda, which is a really wonderful spot, it faces north, are the dahlias, and they are in the weather. If I really felt like it, I could pull them in, but it's good to have rainwater on plants. Well, these snapdragons absolutely wilted in the heat that we had a few days ago, so brought them up here, and the hostas are up here too, protected from the deer. The dazzling sun is looking especially beautiful. The only thing I get maybe a little bit worried about is the fact that none of these are tied on. They're not staked. So if we really had a hard wind, I bet some of them would blow over, but we'll just see what happens. This is dazzling sun. This is one from the dollar store as well. It was just advertised as yellow. But I think this one I might tie to the railing tonight. And this beauty was free. I couldn't believe it. The lady was handing them out at the Powell River Garden Club plant sale for free, and she called them pink. And I thought, well, why not? I'll take a free dahlia, and that's a beautiful one that I got. I think it's gorgeous. If we didn't have deer eating them, I would have this down in my lower bed, because that's one of my favorite combinations, is the peachy pink orange. A pot of sweet peas. And I've been picking sweet peas like crazy, and they keep growing, so it's great. They haven't set seed yet. And then finally, just opening, a little bit smaller than last year, but still lovely, is my Thomas Edison purple. And again, they're in pots. They're in really high growing soil, like not high growing, what does that mean? I'm trying to say high nutrition soil. They're in Miracle Grow. I don't know if that makes a difference to the tubers or not, but they seem to grow really big. And that's what I do with all my pots, even the roses. And I did get some new soil, so all the roses are going to get a potting on in the fall. So one last look at the yellow lily, then we'll cut through the house. You can see where we're at with the kitchen. The scent coming off of this plant right now is nothing short of amazing. Beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay, let's go through. Okay, this might be a bit dark in here. Let's step in, turn on some lights. I think Monty Don is on the TV. He's traveling coast to coast across with Britain and Scotland. So I like watching the shows from other parts of the world to see what other gardeners are doing. I showed this area last time. This is just where I sit, watch my YouTube, have all my magazines, my inspirations. And here it is. This is the new kitchen. The view out to the other deck through the blinds. The cabinetry is called bark, and I think it's got just the loveliest little hint of gray. It's supposed to look like driftwood, aged wood. I think it's gonna be really nice with the appliances. We've had a little makeshift kitchen downstairs and a little hot plate outside to cook, and sometimes we just order in, and it's actually not gone too bad. Another week or so and we'll be able to bring the appliances back into their positions, and it's just really coming along. It's a beautiful cabinetry style, and our contractor's working so hard. They're working on the under counter lighting right now, so there's these cords hanging down for lighting, and then they're routed into this sort of top. This top plate covers the electrical work. This is the handle for the doors and drawers. And then this handle profile matches the curves of the appliances, which are kind of a robin's egg blue. So I'm really happy. I like the sink. Well, actually, I love the sink. Kind of industrial. And we were going for what I call industrial retro. So the appliances are brand new, retro look appliances with industrial level grade quality. And while we're standing right here, let's just look at the view. So the entire garden was designed in my mind from this view. So as I could be at the sink, I could see my garden. And that's why all the buildings are in the orientation that they are, because it's all framed from the kitchen window. And everything started with the old hazelnut tree and grew out from the hazelnut tree over the last 8 years. Okay. Well, that's a good spot for the car keys. When we go to look for them, we'll be like, where are the keys? Dining room back towards the living room. I'm very happy with this choice. This is our vanity, and I think it's very fresh, very pretty, and it's going to get jeweled like door and drawer pulls. Well, that'll reflect the light nicely. And it's got a cut glass mirror, a chrome light fixture, kind of an industrial look chrome light fixture, a square undermount sink. And then I don't know if I showed this last time, but this is the new tub surround with the glass tile that we already had from a different project, and our new tub. And I've already been able to put my artwork back up and do some decorating, and well, best I can. But we're still in construction. These pictures here were done by Terry's mother in 2000 and 2001. They're Marjorie Bestine art that I'm gonna go with needlepoint that she did. She did this one, and she did the fruit bowl. So all my pieces are from gifts or family members, and when I decorate, it's all done very personally. But that's a nice view to the new kitchen when that gets done. All right, let's have a look outside. The weather is not really nice out, but that's okay. It's wonderful to have the rain, actually. There's lots of forest fires on burning right now. It's very scary. So hopefully the wind won't interrupt the video too much. I'm not running around and staking stuff, except maybe the dahlias I'll tie to the railing just in case the wind really ramps up. But I want to come over here and show the Rose of Sharon because it's looking really gorgeous. And this Rose of Sharon is the one that I got 10 seedlings from. I took 10 seeds and now I have 10 new Rose of Sharon. And this plant is the double. It's called Blushing Bride. And I'm looking forward to seeing at least a couple of the seedlings come along to true plants. And it might be a few years before they bloom, but I'd be curious to know if they're going to be double or will they revert back to one of the parent plants, which is probably a single. We'll see. I have 10 of them to play with. This is the big lace cap hydrangea. It's massive. Flowers are just starting to fade now, but with beautiful dusky colors. And then there's the veranda that I was just on with the dahlias and sweet peas. I love that covered area. It's been an absolute relief to be able to put the plants out of harm's way from the deer. My hosta collection is safe. And then the other hostas are in the enclosure. So yes, it's a bit stormy tonight. Garden is probably peaking right now for summer. A lot of things are really coming into their own. There's lots of nice phlox. In fact, I do see my coral phlox sort of bobbing along in the enclosure, so I will probably stake that one for sure. The borge is done, but I'm letting it seed. Probably take it out in September sometime. The zinnia bed that I put in this summer has been extremely successful. I'm very happy with all of these zinnias. The heat that we had last week was really hard on them. A lot of flowers go over a lot quicker when it's hot. But overall, I think I would call this a success. This is the bed I extended back in November. I dug this as far out as I can go. I won't be going out any further because it is absolutely solid earth. I'd have to get an excavator to go out any further than what I've done. And it starts to slope downhill. So there's no reason to come out any further. This is the 4th expansion of this bed. If you look at my videos from before, or even my videos that are my on the playlist, I've got beautiful music pictures from when we first started and when we started to create the garden. And the bed was a lot smaller and it didn't look anything like this. So I'm really thrilled. This couldn't be better. I think that this garden has matured beautifully. This is 8 years old now, reflects my personality. I've dug every plant, I've moved every rock, and it's all been done by me. The clicking is my deer sprayer, which is really effective. It's shooting a nice hard stream of water if animals come up the driveway, including the people kind like me, who's usually the one getting sprayed. I'm just going to pull that out of the ground because it's kind of clicking. Yeah, you just lay down for a minute, then we'll put you back to work. This is the beautiful honeysuckle. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous. So I named this one Ed because it came from Ed Lemieux's property across the street. And the pinker one is Heinz from Heinz Herchabold out in Wannock in British Columbia, down in the lower mainland. But it's just starting to finish now. I'm going to go through here because you can see I have all kinds of little barriers for the deer. Nothing stops them. They just come in. I've just been lucky this year without them kind of eating everything in sight. That's my potting shed. Needs a good cleaning. The daylilies have been very successful this year. This one is Hush Little Baby. It's probably one of my favorites. Well, every plant is my favorite, but Hush Little Baby in particular is a beautiful daylily. And the redder one is Pardon Me. And then, oh, there's a really nice one of Midnight Masquerade back there. I see the Joe Pye weed needs to be staked a little bit more. Sure hope we don't get a really hard rain that flattens everything because those can be kind of messy to clean up. My Culver's root has gone over a little bit quicker than it did last year, and I think that's because of the heat. Culver's root like it to be a little bit damp, and this garden does dry out with the weather. that we've had. This is geranium roseanne, looking terrific. Of course, good old Rudbeckia Goldstrom. Oh, and these were really nice yesterday, of course. These are the Catherine Woodbury Daylilies. And the birds are still coming and having their drinks and bathing. There's a really nice white frilly daisy with a helenium growing out of it, just by accident. The helenium, variegated helenium, is self-seeded. So overall, I think this is really, really looking good. I got Tithonia also in with the zinnias this year. So if anything, for next year, I'd probably want a few more zinnias, just keep it going. I don't really suffer from June gap. I probably am more August gap, where I run out of plant material to feed the bees in August. It gets hot and dry, so I got to research, see what I can bring in for August. Okay, past one of my barriers. We'll look in here because these hostas are starting to fade. But look at those hostas. Aren't they gorgeous? This coral phlox is a real beauty. It's called Coral Flame. And what a beautiful, shocking color of orange for this time of year. Really nice that these beds all need compost in the fall. They're going to get right up, compost right back up to the top in October. It's my birthday present, is compost for my garden. I need about 3 yards. The Annabelle hydrangea in the background. And then the giant hosta that goes basically right across, just about right across, is Sum in Substance. I think one year we measured it to be probably almost 6.5, 7 feet across. So that's nice to see. And lots in here. And of course, oh, the cupcake plants, my marijuana, are going to be potted on now, probably tomorrow. They're getting tall, but look at the architectural interest on that leaf. And you can smell the pungency of the plants. They're really strong scented. They're very unusual. I think they're beautiful. I'm only growing these just for the foliage. I don't do anything interesting with them, just the foliage. And then in the fall with the first frost, they'll be finished. I just noticed quite a few bees going in and out of the hosta, so that's nice. Keep the bees happy for as long as I can. Oh, and this is mauve phlox. There's probably 5 different phlox in the garden. And a little bit different mauve. I think this one's a bit pinker, not quite opening yet. This one will open soon. And the hydrangea comes through the fence. I think that's really nice. This Lavatera silver cups I grew from my little seed packs. I tell you, it only takes 1 day of heat and things go over really quickly. Yeah, that all needs to be cleaned up. This is an interesting little plant. This is my hydrangea that I got as a cutting 2 Februaries ago because I had to leave this hydrangea behind when we moved from Chilliwack because it was just too big to move. And the mover kind of said, well, you could bring your grandmother's azalea or you can bring the giant hydrangea or the big azalea, and I chose the azalea, obviously for sentimental reasons. So this 2 Februaries ago, we went back to Pitt Meadows to visit my mother, and this hydrangea, the main parent plant, grows at my friend Jean's communal mailbox. It's a big hydrangea. So in February, we nipped off some new shoots with our snippers, and I put them in a plastic bag for the trip home for when we got home. And now I have another Jean hydrangea. I named it Jean because Jean is the lady that lived at the house. So I'm calling this one New Jeans. I name a lot of my plants for people who gave me the plant. I'm very happy to have New Jeans hydrangea in the garden. And I'll go down in my new shrub garden that's going to be between the sundeck and the cherry tree. Probably plant that next fall. Okay, well, I just wanted to share those nice things that are blooming. And like I said, I think the garden's kind of at its peak right now. Probably by the next couple of days it'll start to really go over, and I'll have to water really hard if we don't get a hard rain. These are dwarf monkshood through here. A little potentilla, red one. It's beautiful. And then of course my big artichokes. And they had quite a few aphids, but I don't see as many aphids now. Maybe just because of the heat. I was hoping some of the ladybugs would come and eat them, but all right, well, we'll wrap up there. So thank you on this beautiful July evening on the verge of a big storm. Thank you for watching.